Alright guys, so welcome back to another video. Today is actually going to be a really cool one. I really enjoy this aspect of videography. The way that you film, right? The way that you can make something look cool in a million different ways. I can film this water bottle, okay? No, this video is not sponsored by Kirkland. Even though that'd be sick. Imagine Costco? Come on, paper towels and toilet paper for life. But I can display this water bottle in so many different ways, okay? Without even changing the scenery, without even changing things in the background, foreground, whatever, right? The cool thing about videography here, and what we do with this camera, is you get to display how people view something, okay? And I want you to just think about that as you watch this video. Obviously, before you get any further in this video, take a second, subscribe, like, you can comment later on, don't comment now, because you haven't learned anything yet. This is just the first few minutes of it. So, but I'm super excited to talk to you about angles. All right, guys, check it out. What I actually want from you is to watch this video, take something that you learned from this video and go implement it, like now. Obviously, I'm filming myself. Whenever you are handheld and you're doing your own thing, all right, I'll be showing a bunch of other B-roll stuff of me doing movements and stuff, and you know, with different shoots I've done. But you can also crush different types of angles here, okay? I'm gonna go train in a little bit, well actually right now, and I can even show you different angles that we can do there, all right? So, well, without further ado, let's get in this video. Yeah, so I think today, last time I shot on the 50, but I have a 24 to 105. I'm gonna shoot on this sucker, because I wanna walk with you guys. You know, let's just jam out together, you know? So before we even get into the video, okay, what I want you guys to just keep in mind is whenever you're filming, because this is what I do, okay? Whenever I'm filming, I know that I shoot landscape. I rarely shoot vertical, okay? And I do that because I have more leeway to frame my subject or whatever it is. I have more leeway whenever I shoot landscape because I can keyframe, okay? I can go from, if they move out of here, like right now, if I walk out of here, okay, that's it. All right, subject is gone. But if I stay here, right, and you're shooting vertical, that left to right angles, those end points, they're a lot smaller. So if I'm moving, you're gonna have to be like a little bit further or closer, kind of however you want to do it. So what I do is I shoot landscape because I know that I can position my subject or whatever it is, I can position them in a specific way because I know that I'm gonna shoot landscape, but I'm also gonna take the middle, right? And I'll show you right here, right now. So on the screen, you can see you have a landscape version, all right? And you have a vertical version of this right now, of me talking, right? So whenever I shoot landscape, I know this is gonna be my angle, and it's cool because companies or people that wanna hire you to do something, just shoot landscape because, or in most cases you can shoot landscape. Sometimes they might just want something that's like for Instagram or it's gonna be a vertical video or whatever. But it's important to understand that you can do more with landscape when it comes down to like putting out ads or this and that. You'll just have more leeway to work with a landscape film or clip than you are with vertical. But whenever you shoot landscape, it's just so much cooler. And depending on what lens you use, if you're shooting on a 50, I shoot on the 35 all the time. Not for these videos because I have a 50 here. 35 is on my main rig. But when you shoot different angles, or excuse me, different like distances, right? So like I have a 50 on here. This is gonna be a 24 to 105, and I'll show you, right? Okay, so this is 24, all right? 105 would be like in my freaking nostril, I feel like. Yeah, so this would be 105. Obviously your subject and stuff gets smaller in the frame, or it gets bigger or wider or whatever, right? With landscape, it's just so much cooler because you can just do so much with it. So I shoot landscape, and I want you guys to understand this before I even go further. And people who are watching this that have been videographers, or they know how to film or whatever, you guys know what I'm talking about. So you take the landscape, you just cut the middle. Just keep that in mind whenever you're trying to find your angles. You know, it's kind of windy out here, so I wonder if you guys like, I always want to know how good these little fuzzy things are. Like, I wonder if they're actually that good, you know what I'm saying? So I guess I'm just gonna have to find out later on. Dude, my hair always does this weird thing with hats sometimes whenever well, honestly, I'm going through like a weird thing where I'm trying to grow my hair out. But back in the day, I used to have like super long hair, but I ain't trying to do that shit again, you know? The way that you position your camera on grasping a certain scene gives out an emotion, okay? And that emotion moves someone to feel a certain way. So for example, if you're trying to film something for fitness, I think it's like one of the easiest examples. If you want to film something for fitness, what's your goal? Like, what's your outcome? What's the end math that you're trying to achieve? Are you trying to just help someone get more business? Are you trying to get someone or make someone get more engagement on their videos? Or do you just want to make a really cool video? Even if you're trying to make a really cool video, you still have an outcome though. You still have some sort of purpose. That purpose is to wow people, to make them feel like, oh wow, that's a good video, because at the end of the day, you're maybe trying to get business, or you're trying to develop your portfolio and all those other things, right? So there's always going to be a reason and a purpose behind putting a video together. So I want you to keep that in mind whenever you're finding these angles, because if I'm talking to you like this, straightforward, it looks kind of cool, right? Like, it's like, okay, if you were somebody else, that I'm 6 foot. So if you're someone else that's also 6 foot or whatever, this is kind of the view that you're gonna get. All right. So if I'm down here though, right, this might showcase that, like, you know, I don't know. This is just like a weird angle. It's like it's lower, but it's also different. So if this is something that you want to do, that's going to bring some sort of attention, some sort of way, this is your style, then cool. You know, if I'm all the way up here, this is also kind of cool, right? So what I'm trying to say is that there's like different types of ways that you can demonstrate something that's going to be different for someone to view. You always want to change the way that people view something. And I think that's the cool thing that we have power over when it comes down to making videos. All right. So I want to give you guys like an example, a perspective of like different angles and different things that you can do. What I want to do is I want to showcase, and this is again me filming on a tripod, filming myself. Whenever you go and you film someone or you film something, then it's a lot different. You can maneuver, you can pan left and right, you can go up and down, you can trace it, you can chase it, you can do a bunch of different things. You can shoot up, down, and in the moment, right? You can follow, you can do a bunch of cool stuff. And I'll show you some examples too. I put the 360 on my camera a lot and I film myself, so it'd be kind of cool to use it for YouTube so you guys can see what I'm talking about. But I want to showcase and demonstrate with you what I mean by different angles and how you can think outside that box and do something different. So this would be like an example of me getting different angles of shooting myself, doing like a dumbbell shoulder press, okay? So here we go.
Don't search for me, cause I'm going AWOL. In my heart there's a hole, yeah. And in my head there's a demon, I can't take control. I took too much, put myself in the room, just my six and myself, yeah. It's getting hard and I think I'm doomed, cause everyone left.
Alright, so as you see, each frame can be set up in a certain way to give you some sort of emotion. Not like you're like a fly on the wall, like watching in, but I'm showing you how to view this session. I'm showing you how to view this film. I'm trying to give you a type of emotion, and obviously that goes along with music and sound effects and stuff like that, and that's for another video. But with your angles, demonstrate like the small things. Demonstrate the hand going on the dumbbell, the hand or the hand on the pencil, on the writing on a piece of paper in the journal, right? Showcase obviously their eyes, their face as they're writing. If it's an emotional piece, they're crying or whatever it is, right? Showcase the environment with them in it. If I want you to take away some sort of emotional connection to that workout, or I want to motivate you in some sort of way, I'm going to do a tight shot on the face. I'm going to do a tight shot of sweat coming down my face, of falling off my chin or falling off my nose. I'm going to show exhaustion, but I'm also going to show, you know, the head come up and still pursue, to still push through the hard times. I'm going to demonstrate all those, and all those get put together in a good angle, in good framing, in each scene that you put, in each scene that you do. And this can be manual or tripod or gimbal or whatever. Your framing is crucial to how people view something, and I want you to understand that. So as you're watching this video now, think about different ways that you can film something. Think about different ways. If you like to do real estate, how can you showcase a house, a living room, a bedroom in a different way than just a generic left to right? Yes, we're trying to showcase the whole house. We're trying to showcase the entire room and how big it is or whatever. But what else can you put in there? How else can you film this? I think that's what separates the good videographers from the great ones. Yes, the effects and stuff like that. But if you don't have a good frame, a good angle, a good scene to work with, how many times have you watched a video and you're like, wow, right? Like, wow, that was awesome. Okay, for all my Deadpool Wolverine people, okay, I'm a huge Wolverine fan. That scene, whenever they come walking out together and the music's playing, right, and the thing's blowing up in the background and they're about to fight all the Deadpools, that angle is straight on, right? It shows something that they're coming out together as a team. If it showed a different angle, floor up, if it showed from the roof coming down, if it showed a back shot of them walking up and it's showing them two together with all the Deadpools in front of them, which they do, but that all would be different, right? That would give you a different type of emotion. They left it there in the front because they want the intensity to be there. Yes, there's something going on behind us, because as the camera, behind us is all the Deadpools, right? But they're coming up together as a team, as a unit, someone strong, and then they stand fierce, and the camera is moving slowly to them because they want you to bring in the whole scene into them, and that's what's so cool about it. That's why angling and framing is so important. So, as you go into your next shoot, as you start to do different types of things, you start to learn your camera, you're trying to figure out different things, or however, I know whenever I first started, I tried to find what made me, right? How does Matt video? How does Matt create? And I do weird types of angles. You know, I follow movement. I pan left to right. I get the intensity from that session. I want people to view something in a way, and I want them, all I want to do mainly all the time is just wow people. So that's what I go for. Okay? With that being said, work on your framing. Always hit a different angle. Get weird with it. Have fun with it. Think outside the box. The more you can think outside the box, the better your videos will become, the more wows you're going to get, which in theory, more business, right? Is this on? Oh yeah, we rolling, boys. We rolling. All right. You know, it was like 95 degrees here in Houston. So for everyone who doesn't know me or you're new to the channel or whatever, I live in Houston, so it's freaking caliente out here. So by now, we have gone over angles, right? So when it comes down to putting your camera up and filming something, a subject, a person, product, if I could give you some advice, it would be to do things that are out of the norm. Do things that are just different. Do things that are not generic. Because I feel like, in my opinion, if you're generic and modern, like the average, then it gets overseen as something that's already been done. Or, you know, I'm used to seeing it like this. You know, if you start to change the rules and bend the rules a little bit, not only do you get to push your video further, but you get to demonstrate just how powerful videography can be. And it'll get you more business at the end of the day, because that's what obviously we're striving for, is for more clients, more people, building an empire of whatever it is. Whenever I go to a scene or I go to do something and I'm like framing a subject or I'm framing something, if it's not a run and gun, let's say I actually have time, right? Like we actually have something scheduled and it's going to be, I have a shot list and all that good stuff. The way that you demonstrate something, it will always depend on the frame and the angle, because that's what you're looking at whenever you put it in the edit, right? Like, yeah, you're gonna put sound effects and music and, you know, effects and just all the other stuff. At the end of the day, if it's just a generic frame, a generic angle, there's nothing cool to it. There's nothing that's like wow to it. There's nothing that's eye-catching, nothing that's like emotional, nothing that is just cool for people just to watch, right? Because that's what we have to do. You know, people watch movies because it's a cool movie. You know, they watch it because, like, you know, John Wick, they watch it because, like, there's so many fight scenes and this and that. It's like, it's crazy how sometimes they can bend the rules, right? Fast and the Furious, like when they put the cars in fucking space, it's like, how is that even possible? That's not even, there's no way that could just happen. But they do that because, like, it's bending the rules. How much further can we go? How much can we push? Just a little bit more, right? And I just want you guys to think about that whenever you guys are going to your shoots. Whenever I started in the fitness space, I did tons of training films. Like that was me. Like that's what I did. That's how I started. That's what started mass media. And, you know, people know, people that I've shot and continue to shoot, that I'm really cool with the angles that I get inside the gym. How can you get different types of ways? And obviously every gym is different. Every environment is different, yes. But how can I make a bicep curl look cool? How can you make that look cool to someone? How can you make it to where it's just like the contraction of the bicep, the sweat, the actual, like the vascularity, the power that it takes to do that movement for that individual? How can you pass it along to somebody else visually? How do you do that? If I just shot straight just like this right now, it's just someone curling a dumbbell for their biceps. But if I move down a little bit and I get the lights from the ceiling coming down on them and I'm shooting it straight up, it brings emotion as they're curling, and they're even looking down, you know, because sometimes when people curl, they look down, right? They're curling looking down, and I can slow-mo that, right? Slow-mo that. And as that's being slow-moed, there's a light flare from the top, from the ceiling, from the regular lights that they have in the gym, and it's coming straight down. All because instead of going straight on, I just came down just a little bit more, right? So there's so much other stuff you can do. You can shoot straight side shot, right? So you can actually get the movement. And the cool thing about it is you clip those two together, right? You go from one scene, maybe do like a zoom effect, or maybe moving, and then you go boom, and it flash effect until like that slow bicep curl, and then whoosh, back into another movement. But it's all depending on the angle. It's always gonna depend on how you're getting your shot. And I just want you to think about that whenever you go into these shoots, guys, because that's gonna differentiate you from somebody else. How do you get hired? How do you get picked to be the one to do a shoot for someone? How are you the ultimate choice? Think about that whenever you're doing your shoots, guys. Separate yourself. As in, think outside the box. Because those are the ones I get seen, is when you think outside the box. Ladies and gentlemen, thanks again for coming through another video with... No way. Dude, I should just... Come on. I should do this from the beginning. Thanks again for watching another video with me, Matt. Matt's Media 94. If you haven't followed me on Instagram yet, you YouTubers, you people out there on YouTube only, my profile is in the description below. So go ahead and give me a follow so you can see what's going on there. Alright guys, yeah. Well, okay, we're ending the video officially now. So stay hydrated, drink your water, especially if you're out here in Houston. Till then, I'll see you next time, guys. And just when you thought the video was over, no, just kidding. It's like at the end credits. You know when the credits like they continue and there's like more video after that? That's what's happening. So, actually, you know, matter of fact, guys, I'll see you guys later. Okay? There's water in the fridge if you need some. I just made dinner. You can have some of that too. But I'll see you guys later. And just when you thought the video was over yet again, it's your boy Matt. I'm just kidding. All right, subscribe, guys. Come on.